Does anyone else do stuff for years before they realise there's a better way of doing it? Ooh. Ooh, Jesus. Hot, 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 hot. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This week I am very much a lone ranger. I've been away for the weekend with the wife and the little one and the dog. Had a nice little pre-calving break, which was well and truly needed. We try and get away a bit if we can, but since you're having a child, those things, honestly, they tie you down. It's amazing how much stuff they need. I took like 3 t-shirts, a pair of jeans and a jumper. To take a child on holiday, you need so much stuff. I've been away. Now Dad has gone for a few days because everyone needs to have a rest. It's quite good for us all to get off the farm, which means I'm on my own getting the jobs done. A few little things we want to get done this week if we can, but the main thing is to make sure that everything gets fed, watered, bedded up, you know, the works. We're on to big square bales. Look at that. Woo. Finished the round bales, I think it was last week. And we've got some big squares in the shed here. There is a few round bales left. I'll talk about them in a bit. Anyway, we've been digging into here and taking this back because we've actually got a bit of a path down this side because we bed that yard over this wall. So we're trying to make it a bit wider because it is a little bit tight. So we're taking them down there and then using these straw bales, but it's so much easier to bed with these bales. It makes such a clean job. And we like having really nice, clean barley straw that's dry for calving. We really need to get around and clean all the yards out before calving if the weather will let us. But having clean barley straw is just, the one for calving. Keeps everywhere nice, tidy, makes it a lot better for the calves. It's just what we want. So I'm gonna chuck some of these in and get bedded up. Does anyone else do stuff for years before they realise there's a better way of doing it? We used to put big square bales in flat ways like that way round. So just slide them in like that and then have loads of trouble getting the string off, and we'd have to tie it to the fork truck and then drag it out, whatever else. And then this year realised, well, if you just put them on the side, you can just pull it out. I don't know what it is sometimes, but some things seem really obvious, but you just don't think about it. And it's been years we've been doing it the other way, but I don't know. It's just one of them things. Putting them on the side like that makes life a lot easier. So that is everything bedded up, which is good. Next job, feeding. Boom, that is the way to do that. Right, let's get this chucked in there and let's get these girls fed. Right, so that's all these guys fed and bedded up, which is good. As I said, my dad is away. I didn't actually see him. We were kind of like ships in the night. He went down the road and we passed each other as we were coming back and he was going out. And he rang me last night and he says, oh, have you been down the farm? And I was like, yeah, I've been down the farm. And then he said one word which put the fear of God into me. He went, well, and followed that with, I've left the mill full of beans. Which I thought, that's fine, I can mill some beans. He's like, you need to mill some beans, we'll do that. And then he says, but when you mill the beans, you need to fill the hopper up with barley. I was like, okay, that's fine. He says, the 6.6 is in front of the barley. I was like, yeah, okay. And then he goes, but it's got a flat tyre. Right, okay, so I need to sort the flat tyre out. So I've got to sort that tyre out, see what's going on with that. And then he says, have you seen the old bale trailer? I said, yeah, I've seen the bale trailer. Well, have you seen the skid on the old bale trailer? No, I've not seen the skid on the bale trailer. Said it was dark, I didn't take any notice. He goes, yeah, well, half of it's up the yard and the other half is still attached. I was like, okay. So it's broken, I think you need to build a new skid. Right, okay, thanks Dad. Anything else? Okay, so we've got the mill running in the background. So let's go and check out this tyre and see what Dad's left for us. Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, that's not well. That's proper flat, that is. That's not a bit flat. That's not a bit flat, that's proper flat. Luckily, however, one thing that we have got, which is so useful. Guys, honestly, if you've got air on your tractor, get yourself one of these. I think we got it from Sharman's. I think Dad picked it one day. See this little thing here? It plugs straight into the air line for the tractor for your air brakes. We don't have anything with air brakes. This tractor just came spec'd because it was like ex-demo. It had already got the air brakes on it, so it was whatever. Dad went in Sharman's one day. On the desk, they had these little couplers that plug into your air brakes, and then you can plug an air line into them. So when you're out in the field, if you have a puncture, or you need to like blow out your radiator or anything like that, you can just clip an air line in and get on with it. So I'm gonna have to back this tractor and drill out, then back that tractor up and blow up that tyre. There we go, nice and hard. I'm not sure what it is. I can't hear it, but the tractor's running on the other tractor. So what I might do is I might just take this out and put it by the workshop just so we can see. I might not get around to proper fixing it today, but if I can find the hole, at least we'll be able to do something about it. Right, I've parked this outside the workshop and I can't hear anything, which is actually kind of unlike me. My dad reckons I've got X-ray ears. He says I'll walk past things and I'm like, that tyre's leaking. Which is surprising because I have the world's worst hearing. I spent way too much time as a kid shooting a shotgun with no hearing protection, and I avoid busy rooms and parties and things because I just can't pick up sounds. I can't, if I'm talking to someone, I feel ever so rude because I can't listen to them because it just all gets muffled. It's really weird. But I can normally hear little noises, not in like a creepy way though, like not like a horror film kind of way, but just in a, you know, a useful way. We'll leave it there, see what happens, see if it goes down. Might have to leave it there overnight and just see, but at least I can blow it up easy there. Oh, and people were saying, what are we doing with them tyres? Are we going to keep them in true farmer style? Well, we haven't got rid of them yet. Them two are still there, there's still two here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. Might keep them. Perhaps we should do Britain's Fittest Farmer and just flip them all day. Right, let's have a mooch at this skid. He has proper killed it, look. I mean, bent. I think the pin survived. The pin survived. Yeah, that looks alright. The rest of it, though, is pretty knackered. I can't see much of that being survivable. Might be able to use his bottom piece, but, God, what's he done to that? I don't think, either, we've got much of anything strong enough to make a new one. It's too thin. It's not fun. And we're lacking a bit of flat plate. I don't know, wonder if I can straighten it and make it work. Oh, I don't know. I'll have a go, see what happens. Not sure if I'm making this better or worse, but it is doing something. If in doubt, get the big hammer out. Ooh, getting there now, that's not too bad. Straighten this bit out, see what happens. Hey, now we're winning. Just got a bit of a lean this way, but I think we can do something with that. Okay, I just made it worse. Hey, look at this. Now we're winning. Look at that. It almost resembles what it's supposed to look like. We're not going to play a game of rate my welding because it's questionable at best, but it is together. So we'll see how long this one lasts. We'll go and put it on and hopefully it'll do the job. Oh, also, left the hedge cutter out here all night and not lost a single PSI in that tyre. So I think it's probably the valves, because I don't know if anyone else has this trouble, but we haven't got a cap on the valve there. We haven't got a cap on the fork truck valves. Like the tractor valves, they just seem to lose the caps really, really quickly. And I think it's probably something to do with, you know, cultivations, ploughing, grass, just stuff getting wrapped around it. We always put them back on. So I just think they just lose themselves, don't they? So I think we're gonna get some caps, because I wonder whether it's just had something sat in that valve and it's made it go down. Hot, 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 hot. Woo, that's hot. There we go, look. Not too shabby at all. I thought that was gonna be a lot more difficult than what it was. I fit actually surprisingly well. I'm impressed with myself, I'm not gonna lie, to get that as close as I did first time round. See how long that lasts. Hopefully it'll do. I've welded it up before and that was a long time ago, so if it does that again, we'll revisit that trailer skid in about 5 years time. Oh, just realised I haven't explained about why we're keeping that straw. So we are now about a month, give or take, a couple of days off of calving. We might have a few a little bit earlier than that, because if I was any good at that AI-ing, I don't know if I was or not, but if I was, we might have some of the sterilisers calve a little bit earlier, but for the main majority of the herd, we're about a month off. So if we take a look at a cow, like this cow here, as obviously it gets more and more pregnant, the calf takes up more and more room in the back end of that cow, which means that the stomach of the cow gets compressed. Now here's one for you, kids. Don't believe what the textbooks say. A cow has one stomach. It has 4 compartments within that stomach, but it has one stomach. It doesn't have 4 stomachs. Everyone tells you it does, but it doesn't. It has one. When the cow eats, it goes like down into the rumen, then it goes to the reticulum, then from the reticulum into the omasum, and then from the omasum into the abomasum. So as the calf gets bigger, it compresses that abomasum, makes it smaller. And if you're feeding a lot of sort of wet stuff like silage or stuff that gets digested really easily and quickly like cereals and grain, the abomasum stays quite empty. And as that calf compresses it, you can end up with a displaced abomasum, which is a fancy way of saying a twisted gut. So if you give straw in the diet, and this doesn't matter whether you've got dairy cows, whether you're on beef cows, it makes no difference. If you can keep some straw or something like hay or something that's quite long, fibrous, dry, that's going to keep that abomasum full, you're going to reduce massively the risk of displacing the abomasum and getting a twisted gut. If you feed a lot of that stuff that's going to be digested really quickly and the abomasum stays empty, as it gets compressed, it's going to twist. And then you have to get the vets in, and then it's costly, and it's just something you don't need. A bit of straw is going to fix the problem. So we like to keep a bit of wheat straw about. These girls that are on the forage ride probably don't really need any straw, but we'll chuck a bale in anyway. The silage that those guys there are having is quite dry as well, so it's not such a big issue. But I know for these dairy boys and things like that, or people who are feeding wetter silage, it is a real thing that you have to be aware of. So I'm going to put some straw in the yards very, very soon. Like the last month before calving is really when it wants to be in there. So any day now, we'll chuck some straw in the yards, and that'll just give us a bit of peace of mind that we ain't going to have any problems. Anyway, I best crack on because I've got a few bits and pieces need to get done, because tomorrow is a very, very, very exciting day on the farm. And I will video it for you, so you will get to see it probably next week. It is the start of lots of things that are changing on our farm, and lots of kind of new things and stuff that's going on that I've not really talked about because I haven't felt like I can talk about it. But it's now happening, and now I can talk about it. So make sure that you stay tuned for next week. I've also got some merch kind of like on the cusp. You might have seen on my Instagram, I've been wearing a hat that was, oh my God, it's warm. It is warm though. Like a bobble hat. It's super cool. It's really nice. Hats, beanies, whatever. And, oh, and whilst I'm thinking out loud, I've also been contemplating the idea of a podcast. I don't know if anyone's interested, but it's just, there's a lot of things I want to talk about and topics I want to discuss that I don't think I can really do on here very well, just because I think they're quite long form. So I've been thinking about a podcast. I was thinking like me and maybe a few others, have like a small group of people that could talk about stuff, get some really interesting guests in, discuss like topics about farming, cows, things that are going on in the news, have like a news segment. If you like the sound of it, let me know, because it's something I'm really keen to do, and it's like an itch I really need to scratch. Anyway, I'm gonna get off. I need to get ready for tomorrow. Look after yourselves, have a great weekend, and be ready for next week. Big things are happening. See you in a bit. Bye.